Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about the books that I would love to get to this upcoming fall season. Now I know that for many of you, fall has started, but hear me out. I would feel the same way if it wasn't that it was still scorching hot outside here where I'm at in Georgia. So I'm neither in a summer state of mind nor in a fall state of mind, which has sort of transferred onto my TBR making abilities for the fall season. I have chosen 10 books. These books are not necessarily any of the books that I want to read in October. So the books that I'm going to be reading in October will have its own TBR because it is a special month. Hello. But just know that there are other books that are on my TBR for October. The first one that I want to read is by Spencer Hamilton, and it is Sister Fun Time. It's a Smileyland story. Now when I was picking my books, I picked this one yesterday and I went like researching because it says a Smileyland story, and in the back it says before Smileyland, before Mr. Smiling, there was a decrepit orphanage run by an evil nun and full of children who chanted Sister Fun Time, Sister Fun Time, Sister Fun Time. And then it says from the author of Welcome to Smileyland and The Fear. I have The Fear, and I also have a short story that is in one of an anthology, a Funhouse anthology that I have. So I have the majority of the books, but the only one I am missing is Welcome to Smileyland. I was looking for it, I couldn't find it anywhere, so I have to find a way to find Welcome to Smileyland. But either way, I know that this one is going to be on my fall TBR. It's a short one, and obviously the colors what's making me put this on my fall TBR. The Prettiest Girl in the Grave. This was sent to me by Christopher Triana. What did I just say? This was sent to me by Christopher Triana, but I still haven't read it. Shame on me. I'm really backed up on books, and so I want to get this read. And just the whole cover in itself, like the moon, the colors, it just screams spooky fall season. So excited to read this. I have seen so many people rave about this book, and you know what? It's Christopher Triana, so I believe it, and I cannot wait to jump in. The Last Heir to Blackwood Library. In the fall season, I always love to read some like witchy, apothecary type potions and things. I just love to read it in the fall season. So this has been sitting on my TBR. I think I bought it recently, like in the past recent months, because I did find it in the pile of books that I have here that are like recently purchased books. And by recently, I mean 5 months. And I have no space for them, so they just live here on the floor scattered. And so this was in there. I am excited to read this. I mean, Blackwood Library, there's just something about books that are set in libraries, and then witchy books. I mean, come on. So I really don't know much about this. I want to keep it that way because I like to go into my books blind. I know you guys know this already. So I just really like the cover to it, and I did read the synopsis when I first purchased it, but it's been a while, so I can't really remember the deets of it. This next book, it has been on my TBR forever. Rachel from the Shades of Orange spoke about this book. I haven't really been watching YouTube, so I don't know if she's talked about it recently, but I know she talked about it a couple years ago, and it's been on my TBR since. I've been trying to find the book, finally found the book, and it's just, I'm super excited. And it's probably one of the first books that I'm going to read because ever since I heard her talk about the book a couple years back, I keep thinking about the cover, and I can't remember a lot of what she said because it's been 2 years and I'm a little bit of a stoner. And it is the Tater Demon Omnibus, and it includes Revenant, Resurrection, and Requiem. Requiem? Requiem. I always have a hard time saying that word, and apparently resurrection was a really hard word because I tried to say it 3 times, obviously edited out because I am tired of just showing my bloopers to you guys for you to laugh at me, okay? Okay. But this apparently is about, why don't we just read the synopsis? You wanna read it with me? Let's read it. In 1691, the town of Crossfall taught the witch Thessaly how to die. They beat her, they shot her, they hung her, but nothing worked. Badass bitch. When they finally tried to bury her alive, Thessaly set the field against them. The first man died as a gust of wind harrowed the meat from his bones. A root flung like a dirty javelin cut a second man down, and many more deaths followed. The preacher fell, impaled the witch upon her very own broom, but she dragged him down into the field to wait for 3 more centuries. 300 years later, Maddie Harker will murder her bullying husband, Vic. She will bury him in the field as she buried her abusive father years before that. The very same field where the revenant spirit of Thessaly Cross lies waiting. In 3 days, Vic will rise again, a thing of dirt, bone, and hatred. Men will call him the Tater demon, and hell and Thessaly will follow. I don't know about you, but this sounds like a book that I should have read yesterday, so immediately on my fall TBR. The Deloriad by Missouri Williams. I've never read anything by Missouri Williams. I saw my friend Nina talk about this some time ago. It might have been last year. I was like, I need to read this. The only thing is that this is written, it says down here, told in extraordinary, intricate prose that moves with a life of its own. I usually don't like prose writing, but I'm willing to give this a try because of the synopsis. In the wake of a mysterious environmental cataclysm that has wiped out the rest of humankind, the matriarch, her brother, and the family descended from their incest cling to existence on the edges of a deserted city. That's all I'm gonna read to you. That's all I wanna know. Very, very hopeful for this read. I gotta have some Joe R. Lansdale on my TBR because you guys know I just absolutely love him. Fall is next week, so I am trying to read the multiplex that I talked about on my September TBR. And so I'm about to read that, and then I want to read this. I just want all the Joe R. Lansdale. I want to read all his backlist title, all his new books, because there's just something about his writing, and there's something about the plots in his story that all somehow take on a journey of some kind for our main character that I love. I believe this has something to do with our main character, and if I'm not mistaken, this takes place in East Texas. Almost all of his books, if not all of his books, take place in East Texas. But there's this kid and his sister, and they're basically orphaned. His grandmother dies, a sickness takes over his household, or an epidemic that happens, and his parents die, and so it's him and his sister. They go to live with his grandfather, but their grandfather gets murdered, and so he goes on this journey to find these murderers because they have also taken his sister. So he goes on this mission to rescue his sister and find the people that murdered his grandparents, or his grandfather, I'm sorry. So anyways, I'm just really super excited to read this.
Really super excited.
The Midnight Circus by Jane Yolen, introduction by Theodora Goss. Watch your step. The dark imaginings of fantasy icon Jane Yolen are not for the faint of heart. In these 16 brilliantly unnerving stories and related poems, Central Park becomes a carnival where you can, but probably shouldn't, transform into a wild beast. The Red Sea will be deadly to cross due to a plague of voracious angels. Meanwhile, the South Pole is no place for even a good man, regardless of whether he is living or dead. And so I've been dying to read one of these collections, and I think this is a perfect one because it just, circus, Midnight Circus, Central Park. I mean, come on, it just sounds like the perfect stories. I've had Pen Pal on my TBR and on my physical TBR for about 2 years maybe. Have been dying to read it, and I don't know why I haven't yet, but this fall season is the time to do it. I'm just getting fall vibes here with the naked trees, actually winter, but because of the gold and orange here, or like yellow, burnt yellow, rusted yellow color here, mustard yellow. That's what I was trying to get at. I'm just getting fall. So we're just gonna read it in the fall time. I know that you've heard about this book and everybody knows about this book, and I'm probably the last person on, I'm not gonna say on earth, but in the horror community that hasn't read this. I should have started with this book because it would have been the perfect way to start the video, because I want to read The Cruelty of Autumn. I hope you can see that. It's by Brian Keene. I found this on eBay, had never heard about it, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I paid a ridiculous amount of money for this small ass book. But you guys know how I feel about Brian Keene. This cover and Autumn, I just had to do it. And so I bought it. This is just a collection of short stories by Brian Keene, and I'm sure they're all connected to Autumn because that is the title of the book. And the last book on this list is Cricket Hunters by Jeremy Hepler. Now, I was kind of like reluctant to put this on my TBR just because I am not sure what's up with the publishing of this book. This book was published by Silver Shamrock Publishing. There was an issue with them long ago. I think it was last year or so, and I believe they shut down. But if you go on Amazon, this is still It still says that it's Silver Shamrock Publishing, so I don't know how that works. I don't know if he's got a new publishing company to reprint this or what it is, but just letting you know that if you go look for this and you know all about what happened with Silver Shamrock Publishing, that you are aware of that little detail on Amazon. So I don't know the specifics of it. I don't know who has the rights to this, who's publishing this. I think that Silver Shamrock Publishing closed their doors, but I could be wrong. I really haven't done like a lot of research. I just did research that they are shown on Amazon as the publishing company as of right now. And so if you have a problem with buying a book and stuff like that from that publishing company, I understand. They did send me this years and years ago, so I don't know what the deal is. I just wanted to put that out there. But I've heard great things about this book, and it just sucks that a publishing company can sort of like tarnish books for authors when this is how they make their money. So do your research before you buy the book, or if you're interested in the book. And if you know what the deal is, then leave it in the comment section to inform all of us. But I know many people love this book. It has received many 5-star ratings. I don't know what it's about, and I'm gonna keep it like that. I've just been very hesitant on picking up this book because of the title, and there are crickets here, and I'm not a huge fan of insects. As a matter of fact, I hate them, and you know what? Let's call it what it is. I'm scared of them. I am super afraid of insects. I'm terrified. And so whenever I see a book that has like insects or roaches or things like that, I'm like, ugh, I can't. But I've heard such great things about this that I want to read it, and so I'm not going to read the synopsis because I don't want to know too much of the insect-y details. Insect-y details. Do you guys like my shirt? Look at this. I don't want to move too much from the camera. Oh, here I am blurry. But look at this shirt, how cool. It's from Book Babe Designs. I buy all of her t-shirts when she comes out with t-shirts. Oh my gosh, I think I have like 10 in my collection already, but I am obsessed with her prints, and her artwork is amazing. So that's it, you guys. Those are some of the books that I would love to get to this fall season. If you already have your TBR set, or you know what some of the books are that you want to read this fall season, let me know. Let's chat books in the comment section down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.